Yo guys, what's up? And in today's video, I'm going to be going over my favorite settings for Chapter 3, Season 3. I've tested out a lot of different in-game settings and PC settings themselves, and I think I might have found the best one. Alright guys, so now that we're in-game, we're going to go over my settings here. So first thing we're going to do is actually go into my in-game settings, so we're just going to head into our settings. So first things first, I'm actually using stretch resolution, which I suggest 1680 by 1050. Which is probably one of my favorite stretch reds, and it works really well, and I just recently changed to it, and it's actually been helping me a lot. Without talking, I've also on 200 FPS, this really depends on your setup. I could probably run 240, but I just like the lower one. 100 brightness, user interface contrast 1, colorblind stretch, you can run Detranope or Tridanope or whatever those ones are, but I just prefer to leave them off. Video res 100%, all these are low and or near off, because they just like hinder your performance, and I just want, you know, the less input delay. So here I'm also on performance mode. I'd suggest instead of DX12 or DX11, you're on performance mode. It's going to give you less input delay and probably more FPS. For here, you guys can just read through all these because these aren't as important settings, so you guys can just look through all this stuff. Here we have my HUD scale. I like a lower HUD scale because I feel like it's easier for me to see my actual game. So I prefer a lower HUD scale than like most. Rest of this stuff you can just leave on, doesn't really matter. And then here, this is my cents. So I used to play 9.5 cents, but I recently switched to 6.5 cents, and I think this might be the god cents for keyboard. I mean, it really depends on your DPI. Right now I'm on a Razer Viper Ultimate mouse, so I find 6.5 works for me, but really whatever. Now let's go on to my keybinds. So keybinds, I don't have a WASD because again I'm running double movement, which is allowed and it works really well. And you can find in another video what it does. And then here, all this stuff you guys can look through. These stuff aren't as important. These are all my binds. Alright. So now I'll show you how they work in game. In-game, guys, this is my in-game settings, so you can see the stretch res. It might be hard to see on camera or like on recording, but if you looked at me like in person, it's pretty stretched. And then you can see like it just makes my like builds look nicer, in my opinion. It just makes everything look like a little more cleaner. Like if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I personally like using stretch res. It's really up to you what you prefer to use. Like I use 1680 by 1050, yeah, and it works really well for me. And the next up is honestly something that like a lot of people don't use, and I really don't understand why. I kind of like it. So a lot of people use scroll wheel reset, which I guess pretty broken. I just use Z as my reset. Like it's pretty fast as well. You can just put SZ or ZZ, doesn't really matter. But I use my scroll wheels for something else. I use them for my front, or my shotgun and like AR or SMG. The reason I do that is because, like, if let's just say like I boxed a guy or something, or like I'm in a box or something like that, you know, and I need to quickly let's like whip out my shotgun. I can easily just like, if I'm like in my build, I can easily just scroll up. Like, I feel like the scroll up or like scroll down and finish him. Like I shotgun, scroll down and finish him off. Like I think that works really well for me. I mean, personally, I think it's a pretty broken way to set up your guns. I think it's pretty nice. And then here, I also have like 1, 2, and 3 on my like grappler, like my weapons and stuff. And then yeah, that's why I use like if I'm ever like switching from pickaxe quickly. That's why like if you watch me like triple edit and like if you watch me like triple edit, I like whip out my gun, or if you watch me quad edit. So yeah, like whip out my gun as I'm doing it, and it kind of makes it like a little bit more easy to do, in my opinion. And I think it makes it look a little bit more cleaner. There's low meshes on performance mode, and I think it looks really clean. A lot of pros are using it in this season, and it like makes your builds look like this, and it makes it look like a lot cooler and nicer to run. And then again, the 6.5 cents, it really is up to like what mouse you're using and like really what type of mouse you are using. I'm using right now the Razer Viper Ultimate, which is a really good mouse, and it recently switched. And I think it's a really good mouse to actually do this kind of stuff. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. This was a quick one just to show off my settings. I'm going to make a montage again soon at the new season. Stay tuned, guys, and peace out.